Yes. Just 5 minutes. Yeah, give me a 10-minute warning. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Spirit and nature dancing together, spirit and nature. Spirit and nature dancing together, spirit and nature dancing together, spirit and nature dancing together, spirit and nature dancing together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Oh, that's fine. Nisa Sarega Saregama Saregama Pa Mapadaya ni dapa sani dapa magare sa ni re sa ni Sarega ma pa da pa ni da pa ma ga re za ni re ni re Sarega pada. Can you put a little reverb on this? Sa Sarega Garisa Sarega Garisa Nisa Saregama Saregama Mabadapa Nidapama Nidapama Sanidapa Sanidapa Magare Sanisa. Yeah, sounds good. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Om 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 Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Aloha. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to New Thought Center of Hawaii. It's Sunday morning, June. Okay. Woo! I know time is moving fast, but it's moving particularly fast. Okay. March 10th, Sunday morning. We welcome all of those here on the Lanai, and we welcome those in Cyberland. We're especially happy to have you with us today. And even though we may not give our thanks to you every week, just know that we're very grateful that you also are here and adding to our collective energy. We're going to start out this morning with a reading from the Science of Mind magazine, and Pomai is going to do our reading for us. Thank you.
Including the sound person. Everyone is creative, not working yet. Aloha. Everyone is creative. Where does the energy want to go now? I ask this question and sit with a sense of the life force within. That's a quote from Oriah Mountain Dreamer. Believe that your word goes forth into a real creative power, which at once takes it up and begins to operate upon it. That's from Ernest Holmes. Creativity is natural and innate to all people. In Science of Mind, we understand that all our thoughts are creating with the law of cause and effect. In Unity teachings, this is sometimes called the law of mind action. I like this because it reminds me that before any action in my life, there is a thought in my mind. Truthfully, all people are always creating their experience of reality through their thinking. Some use this creative power in service of life and love. Some use it for destruction and limitation. And I guess each of us does our share of both. The hallmark of spiritual maturity is that we become intentional in our creative thought. We're no longer only using this power unconsciously, but rather we are directing our mind to a higher plane of reality. We seek to be a blessing in the world and to be open to receive our own abundant blessings. In what area of life should we direct this power of intentionality and creativity? Here are a couple of clues. Where are you experiencing dissatisfaction and disappointment? There may be a false belief in play that you can identify and release. Also, what would you love to experience? Listen for the desires of your heart and know that the good you are seeking is seeking you now, awaiting your willingness to create the space to receive it. Let's all open that space right now. Life wants to be good to you in just the way that are perfect for the shape of your soul. Say yes. And the affirmation is, I'll read it through and then we'll go read it together. It's kind of long. I am open to receive my good right now.
I'm open.
I create, wait. I'm going to read it. Instructions were, I'm going to read it first. Okay. And then we'll go read it together. Okay. I am open to receive my good right now. I create in my mind, in my life, a space for receptivity. I welcome a higher order of experience where my needs are met perfectly and perfectly on time. So I'll read the first part and you repeat after me. I am open to receive my good right now.
I am open to receive my good right now.
I create in my mind, in my life, a space for receptivity. I welcome a higher order of experience where my needs are met perfectly and perfectly on time. And so it is.
Thank you, Pomai. That was beautiful. I especially noted the good we are seeking is already seeking us. So let's just take a few minutes and gather our collective energies to the center and think about the good that's coming towards us and the good that we're for everyone, for all of humanity, actually. And just quiet ourselves, and I'll ding one more time to come back. Just take a moment or two. If we can all pull our consciousness back into the room and be aware of where we are and that we're here at New Thought this Sunday morning. You know, I always feel like a meanie clicking those chimes because everybody here is just like such a beautiful meditation and it's so quiet and peaceful. And I always feel like it'd be nice to just sit here for a while, but we're going to be in more meditation in a moment, in a little bit. So could we have a short kirtan? There's no such thing as short, but yeah, thank you.
So we're going to start with a chant, Om Namah Shivaya, one of the most universal mantras, one of the most ancient universal mantras, and significantly, it was just Mahashivaratri on Friday. So it just fell, and that is the anniversary of Lord Shiva's wedding with his divine beloved Parvati. So it's a festival that's celebrated all over the world, celebrating the wedding of Shiva and Parvati, Shiva and Shakti. So the mantra, repeat after me, is Om Namah Shivaya. That's all. Very simple. So we'll do a call and response. So you guys can, I'll do the call, you respond, and that's it. That's how Kirtan goes. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Namah Shivaya. 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 Namah Shivaya. Om 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 Namah Shivaya. Whoa.
That's a nice call and response for sure. Thank you, Sakshi. That is
Doesn't wanna
Sakshi
stop, right?
Zion, our musician and our presenter, and I'll be introducing him more later. Thank you. Okay. So the hardest job of the facilitator is to ground back to reality after Kirtans. Okay. Good morning again. Welcome to everybody here and in Cyberland. Do we have, oh, first thing I do want to mention, we have wraps over here. If you need a little lap blanket or something to wrap around you if you're feeling chilly, feel free to come around and come over and grab something. There's plenty there for everyone. Is there anybody here for the first time? I think They say that they've been here many times, but this their first time here, right? Yeah. Remind me your name, please. Trish and Eero. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Welcome so much. We're so happy to have you here. Yes. Okay. So let's talk about New Thought a little bit. New Thought Center of Hawaii, weaving a lei of love. New Thought is a sanctuary of aloha for the nourishment, development, and evolution of each individual's unique spiritual path. And so that means as many of us as are here and online and in the world, but for us, practically speaking, right now, we're all unique. And I think New Thought is unique also. We've traveled a lot. We've never found any place like it wherever we've been. So it's a good combination, I think, of having some structure, having a spiritual center, and just really honoring a lot of different paths all at once. One of the things we affirm at New Thought is our evolving awareness of the nature of reality and our willingness to refine our beliefs according to that reality, which is continually changing every day, every moment, every second. So again, thank you for being here. Okay. And we did start from right now we're part of Unity. Pardon? INTA, yeah. We're under the umbrella, but again, within that umbrella, we have our own uniqueness. So let's see. I'm looking for my page. There we go. So we started out as Kona Community Church of Religious Science in 1971. We've had Sunday services continuously since that time. First in Keaho and now in Kealakekua. I think that's quite a feat. So we're at 52 now, I think. We're getting older. We are getting old. We're growing older with New Thought. That's a lovely thought. And now we hold our services online. So one of the thoughts about New Thought is that a new thought embodied in consciousness produces a new condition. So that's held to be true then and now. And so you can go on to www.newthoughtcenterofhawaii.com and find out a lot more about us. Can we have another shortened version of a kirtan? Not too short. We don't want it too short, but yeah.
This next one is a very simple chant to Sita and Ram. Is a form of the divine couple, Sita and Ram. Actually, let's do Shiva Shakti since it's the wedding of Shiva and Parvati. So we'll chant Shiva Shakti, Om Shiva Shakti. Say that with me. Shiva Shakti, Om Shiva Shakti. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shakti Om. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. 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 Shiva Shakti Om.
Thank you very much. That was lovely, beautiful. Right in keeping with Shiva Ratri. I feel like we're still in it. Some of the energy's still here. So we've got two things. Let's do some miracles and ordinaries. We love them both. Do you have an ordinary miracle? Or do you have a miracle that's ordinary? They're both the same. They're all spectrums. Anything that special happened or something you've been waiting for that happened, something you haven't been waiting for that surprised you out of nowhere, something that redefined or you realized, or just your car started and you're here today. That could be a miracle too. Some mornings are a miracle just to get in the car and get going. Jean, do you have one? I I don't know. You just look. She's always here looking like she's yeah.
I guess I just ooze appreciation and happiness. Um, Look at these beautiful people. I mean, my goodness, how blessed are we? This beautiful music that we get to come together and love on each other and just celebrate our God, whatever, or universe, whatever. And so life, every breath, every moment is a miracle. So I guess I ooze that.
You do. You do. You do ooze that, Jean. And when I look at you, that's what I see. You're always oozing. It's a good reminder. Oozing love, oozing gratitude, oozing life. Yeah, you really do. Thank you. Anybody else? No? Okay. You put us all in a very reflective mood. Okay, going. Oh, I knew it. Would you like to come up and talk in the mic? Or should I bring the mic to you? Would you like me to bring it to you?
We had a celebration of life of my late husband of 20 years. And it was such a beautiful coming together of his old friends. And it made me feel not closer to him because he's always going to be gone, but just that he was recognized for his beauty, his talent, and his personhood, just who he was.
Thank you for sharing that. That's a difficult thing. And our love and prayers are with you. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Okay.
Okay. I saw you. He hit the button. My my miracle, kind of an ordinary. On Friday, my beautiful daughter, along with every fourth and fifth grader on this side of the island, all went up to Pu'uwa'awa'a, which is that big mound that you drive by when you get up by Pu'u'anahulu area. And they went up. They had to learn Hawaiian chants, entrance and exit chants. So aloha and thank you chants. And they had to have like a rigorous training for this event. And I was going to chaperone, but the way they made it sound like you'd be hiking up the cliffs of mountains and pulling weeds didn't sound like something I really wanted to spend my day doing. So I opted out and decided to go to Waimea instead and go see my friend Amatra. Well, we never connected, but while I was there and I was sitting in my car and it's freezing cold wind and rain, and I mean, like my windshield looked like it was iced over. It was nasty. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, what can I do for fun? So I had just picked up I found out it was old when I opened it, one of those brochures for tourists, just to see what was in it. And I saw a thing for Lehua jewelry, and they make those beautiful Hawaiian bracelets. And I've always wanted one of those. And my daughter and I talked about that not too long ago. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to go there and see those bracelets. I'm going to try them on. I'm going to take pictures so I can put it up on my wish board and have it. And so I went in, I met a lovely woman. She helped me with the bracelets. I took 2 pictures, one of 2 different bracelets. I took those. I saw them after I took them. They were in my camera. So I left there and I still had a little time to do something else. So I decided to walk up the way, and I came to a little shop that was a flower shop. And I went, wow, flowers, really live flowers. And I walk in, and as it turned out, there really wasn't a lot of real live flowers, but the whole shop is flower theme based. The most beautiful gifts, the most incredible creativity was in that shop. I was just totally blown away by what they had. And my little mini miracle was that I found Palmer and Tony's next puzzle for when they finish the one I just gave them. And they're gonna really love it. And so that was really amazing. And then also the owner and another lady were in the back, and they were kind of sharing a little food, and we just all three started talking, and all of a sudden we just found this connection between the three of us, and it was just magical. So I was in the right place at the right time. I went over to Amatra's. She didn't look like she was home, so I just sat there for a little bit, and then I went back to get my daughter. On my way back, Amatra texts me and says, "Oh, I'm done now. Are you do you have time?" And I said, "Well, air kisses to you, sweetheart. Oh, we'll have to connect next time." So that was my day in a nutshell. But it was such a blessing in so many different ways, and I learned so much. And made new connections around the island. So happy to live Hawaii. So blessed.
Thank you. That is a good example of what we do when we get up in the morning and what we do when we allow a spirit to just move us where we're supposed to be. So have you thought of a question pertaining to your talk that we might be able to answer in a few words? Because we know if we say a few words, a few sentences.
Okay, yes. Just one word, just one, when you think of death.
One word, thinking of death. Who wants to start this off? Yeah, we're going to pass that around.
That's a good
Cindy.
start. Right?
Cindy's going to start us. Thank you. This is a hard subject for some people.
Bliss. I'm Terry. The end.
I'm Charlie. Award.
Word.
I'm Jan. Release.
Good morning, Reagan. Gone over.
Good morning, Eddie. Light.
Marcus, New Beginnings.
Trish, Journey.
Shayla. I don't have one word. I guess I'm going to pass.
Stephen, change.
Palmer, Rebirth.
Patty, Peace.
Death.
Or emancipation.
Marka, excitement.
Atis, next journey.
Morphing.
Home.
Eternity.
Jamie, Life.
Pasha, the undiscovered country.
Margie, exhilarated. Loneliness.
I'm Richard Mayer.
I've been coming here 50 years to visit a mango tree where a miracle happened. And every year I celebrate the same. Maybe one day I'll tell you the story. Although I don't believe in miracle, somehow indirectly these things happen.
Maybe closure in some way.
What's your name?
Oh, Randy.
Candy. Sorry, I'm cheating. That's what happens. That's what happens.
Gilling, it conveyed.
Do we miss anybody?
Final merge.
All right. Well, thank you.
You have to answer.
Oh, my word. Um, togetherness. Togetherness.
Togetherness. Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay, now we're going to introduce our presenter, Sakshi Zion. I've been practicing your name. I really messed up last week, so I'm on probation. I'm trying to do my best. No, I'm joking. Originally from Indiana. Oh. Whoa. All right. Gary, Indiana. Okay. Originally from Indiana, now living on the big island of Hawaii. How long have you been here, Shakti?
5 years.
5. That's a good number. 5 years. Sakshi has been studying New Thought principles for many years, in many forms and in many ways, I'm sure. Once a Hindu monk, he lived at an ashram and studied yoga, meditation, and Indian sacred music, kirtan, bhakti yoga, and mantra. As a world traveler, he has studied with several gurus and spiritual teachers, traveling around the world sharing his music and spiritual teachings that he has gleaned from his ongoing mystical quest. Yay. We're going to hear a little bit. Do you have a theme for your talk, by the way?
Yeah, I call it Gnostic Secrets.
Oh, right. Yes. I'm sorry.
Of
I
the
didn't.
Afterlife.
Yeah. Okay. Jamie, who is our lay minister today. Thank you, Jamie. From Patty. She's the presenter. Oh, lovely. Oh, wow. And I get to smell them from here. I get to smell the roses. No, I mean, I get to smell the plumeria. Okay. It's
All right.
yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me today. So, why did I call this the Gnostic Secrets of the Afterlife? The reason that I chose Gnostic is because, first off, I study the Gnostics and I want to kind of resurrect this term in its general universal appeal in its usage. Gnostics as this group of heretical Christians, but the word Gnostic simply means seeker of gnosis, which is knowledge. So all of the pagan traditions before, I've said in my last talk that I believe that New Thought, Unity are modern day Gnostics, even though they don't call themselves that, because rather than what distinguishes Gnostics as opposed to other Christians, um, fundamental Christianity believes in just believing in something and that is your salvation, right? Believing in the death and resurrection of Christ is your gateway to salvation. But the Gnostics believed in experiential knowledge. They wanted to experience their own death and resurrection and become a Christ. And that was what the Gnostics argued were the secret teachings of Jesus that the Roman Church, because of their power and influence, didn't want you to know. They didn't want you to know that you could resurrect and become a Christ too. They wanted you just to submit to the authority and power of the Pope and the Roman Catholic Church and their doctrines and dogmas. So the Gnostics saw experiential knowledge, and the Gnostics have whole gospels on the ascent of the soul, on the ideas of the afterlife. The Gnostics were studying the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Vedic scriptures, Buddhism, Hinduism, Hermeticism, like this, Kabbalah, to kind of get a deeper understanding of these transitions of life, these experiences of birth, rebirth. What is rebirth? Is that something that happens when you die, or is it something that happens while you live that you can experience now? Death, crucifixion, resurrection, are these things that are just that Jesus experiences, or is this something that we all have to experience? Jesus says that you need to take your cross, which implies that you will also be crucified. He says that they will, persecute you in my name. So he's foretelling that you will also have to go through some sort of death or resurrection. The idea of Lazarus Lazarus being resurrected from the dead, is this a purely literal story, or is this a symbolic story of your own resurrection from ignorance, being asleep? The Walking Dead is another like symbol, to resurrecting into this new consciousness, into this new Christed vision and perspective in life, taking on the life of Christ's teachings, right? So that's why I call it Gnostic, because we're going to be approaching these ideas of death and the afterlife through seeker, through the through the experience of knowledge. However, we can experience that here and now. No one will truly know what the afterlife is like until we experience it ourselves, right? So all we have is these stories. We have um, what we're going to get into is near death experiences, people that have died and come back and given some of these experiences. So I also wanted to highlight really quick that this is a very special weekend. We already mentioned that Friday was Shivaratri. Um, the 7th, the day before, on Thursday, was Paramahansa Yogananda's disappearance day. It was the day that he left his body. They call it Mahasamadhi. When a great yogi leaves their body, they actually are believed to ascend to a higher state. So, obviously, right there in Hinduism is this idea that if you perfect your life or attain gnosis, right, that you can elevate in the next life, right? And then yesterday was the disappearance day of Yogananda's guru, Swami Sri Yukteswar. So in the Hindu tradition, they celebrate not only the birthday of saints, but also the disappearance day of saints, because having lived a masterful life, we honor their disappearance day as well, because they left this body in knowledge. They left this body in gnosis, knowing that they were not the body, knowing that they were the soul that lives on. And so we call that Maha Samadhi. Samadhi is like a exalted state of meditation. Maha is like a greater Samadhi even. So both Yogananda and Swami Sri Yukteswar devotees are celebrating their disappearance days this weekend, as well as Shivaratri, the wedding day of Shiva and Parvati. Shiva is sometimes known as the destroyer, as the god of death, even. So, what does this represent? What does Shiva represent for us individually as we traverse this soul quest in life, as we take that next journey into the afterlife? And then today happens to be Buddha Day. All over the world, people are celebrating the birthday of Buddha today. So this is a very special weekend. Shivaratri, Buddha, disappearance day of two great masters. Um, and then also, we're entering back into the springtime, right? And spring is a time of renewal, of rebirth. You know, the winter has ended, that time of death, and now we're uh, all the new plant life is blooming again. Flowers are smelling abundantly. Of course, we have this type of weather all year round here in Hawaii, but all over the world, springtime celebrations are being celebrated. Easter is an ancient pagan tradition of fertility and rebirth, and we have co opted Easter for the death and resurrection of Christ. So you see that this archetype, this motif of resurrection, this life after life, is being celebrated since as long as we can remember in our springtime fertility festivals, right? So right now we are all going through a resurrection, a rebirth, a renewal as we celebrate spring, as we observe and witness all the blossoming creation that is coming back again and the renewal of life, right? So I want to mention that the ancient cultures like the Egyptians and the Druids and the Incas and the Maya and the Aztecs and the Chinese and the ancient Greeks, they had traditions where they would build tombs and mausoleum structures for their departed ones. They would have um, things, ritual artifacts and objects and things that they would need on their journey, essentially. So they would bury their loved one in like a type of house and have all the things that they would need in the afterlife because they believed that the afterlife was just like this life, only slightly different. And so certain things that you would need, like to do your prayers, for example, or a drinking bowl, they would give. So in the tombs of King Tut, for example, and Egyptian pharaohs, and the tombs of great kings and druid masters, and um, you would have all these artifacts. You have this idea that life continues on. So you have all the ancient cultures had some sort of way of funerary rituals and preparing the dead for their journey, essentially. Some of us said that was the word that we thought of when we think of death as a journey. Um, I want to briefly mention before we get into it is my daughter just passed, unfortunately, very sadly. And it was about 3 months ago now. And this is my daughter, Ocean Maria Kianga. And um, I've been thinking a lot about death, and I've been thinking a lot about the afterlife and what happens to our souls. And Ocean has inspired these thoughts and these research. You know, it's like I'm obsessed with learning about what happens. I'm obsessed with near-death experiences and any information that I can glean from other people that had these experiences. I wanna I wanna know. I wanna learn, and it helps me cope with the fact that she's not here physically, knowing that she is here on the other side, that she's always with me. She's always guiding me. We're going to talk about that, how our loved ones, they are with us and how they're just on the other side, and how the other side is just as thin as like a thin piece of paper, and they're going to send us signs and messages to help us remind them that they're always with us and that they are guiding us. There are angels. One of my mentors said that your daughter is your ancestor now, you know, and that was really deep to understand that she's my angel, and that she's helping me and guiding me now. She everything that I want and every good thing that I need, she wants that for me. And all your loved ones, all your ancestors, they're like a team of light guiding you and protecting you. And I'll talk about Kumu Keala Ching, who we all know and love here, who did the final rites for Ocean, and he says some very profound things, which adds to this idea that we have this team of light. We have our loved ones with us all the time. We have this divine protection that our family on the other side is always providing for us. So we have this idea of the phoenix, right? The phoenix is this bird in ancient cultures, this motif of like it rises from the fire and is reborn from the ashes, right? So we understand that Christ was once thought of as a type of phoenix. In ancient artwork, you would see Christ sometimes depicted as a phoenix, or in ancient pagan tradition, the phoenix is a common symbol of the fact that we resurrect and we are reborn from the ashes. You have in the Egyptian tradition, in the Greek tradition, in all the ancient pagan traditions, some sort of death and resurrection story. Osiris is killed by his brother Set, but is reborn. Isis uh, re um, remembers him. Basically, she brings all the parts of Osiris back and brings him back to life, and he's born again. The Greek god of wine and fertility, Dionysus, he's ripped apart, dismembered, but then he's brought back to life and he's resurrected. And this is very much springtime fertility, both Osiris and Dionysus, springtime fertility symbols. Um, then you have, of course, Jesus, who is brought back to life, resurrected. I was talking to Atis in the car, and she asked me a couple questions, and I was reminded that in the early first century, Christianity, when Christianity was a forbidden religion, when it was called a death cult, they were like the Jews that criticized Christianity and the Romans that because until Constantine became made it a state religion, it was forbidden by by death to practice Christianity in the Roman Empire, right? It was called a death cult, but they because and the Jews were saying you guys are worshiping a dead guy, you know, because they saw him as a false messiah, and but the Christians were like, yeah, but he resurrected, but you're eating him. You're cannibals, you know? So the idea of Christianity was a death cult. It was criticized as a death cult by its criticizers, by its antagonists, the people that, were against Christianity. But this idea of resurrection, and again, the Gnostics, they saw that this idea of resurrection was not something that just Jesus experienced, but something that we all would go through. We would all experience a type of death in this life, and even in the physical body, but that we would have some sort of there would be an afterlife. So the entire premise of Christianity is that there's life after life, that there's some sort of afterlife, that there is some sort of resurrection in the soul, that the idea of the eternal immortal soul is the very essence of what Christianity actually is. In all religions, essentially. Plato, for example, one of the earliest writers of near death experiences, he spoke about how Socrates uh, preached on the immortality of the soul, and that this idea that we would back to this realm where it was a realm of pure knowledge and pure reality, and that it was a purification process. This life was a purification process, getting us prepared for going back to the true reality of life, of of true reality, true perfection, true infinite immortal life, essentially. Let's see what else I have here for you guys. So I wanted to talk about also even this idea of the age of Pisces ending. We're ending one age, one epoch, and we're entering into the age of Aquarius. So the age of Pisces represents the age of religion and the age of sacrifices, right? And the statement of the age of Pisces is I believe. So it's this age where we're coming from religion, we're coming from institution, the coming from the institution of a sacrificial cult, even, and this idea of Jesus, being the death cult. But we're moving into the age of Aquarius, which is an age of enlightenment, an age of transformation, of consciousness, collective consciousness, innovation, progress, and the statement of the age of Aquarius is I know. So we're moving into the age of gnosis, right? So everything that is happening now in the world, all these wars, death, all these catastrophes, all these horrific things that we're experiencing is a great collective death also. And the birth pangs of a new life, right? And so we're entering into this age of Aquarius seeking a higher way, seeking the way of knowledge. We have all of history now. In the past, we didn't have history the way we did, and the victors typically would write history. Now more than ever, we can look at many perspectives and say, we don't want to repeat that. Let us elevate to a higher consciousness. Let us learn from our mistakes, learn from our past, and do something for the good of the world. Resurrect, all the good, and let the dead bury the dead. Essentially, let the past be the past. So I wanted to mention as we get into the ideas of life after death is you have this you have from ancient cultures, as I was saying, all these different traditions, right? Where they believe in the preparation of the dead, and they believe in believing, they believe that the life goes on. But in the modern world, we started to like no longer believe these things. In the medical industry, we would uh, shun these ideas. When people came back with these experiences, they say you're just hallucinating. You're losing oxygen in the brain, and you're not really. It's your imagination. So in the modern era, we started to basically cancel out and no longer believe some of these ancient traditions of the afterlife. Well, in 1975, a doctor named Dr. Raymond Moody, he coined the term near death experience, and he actually started near death studies and research as now it is like a medical um, approved, a medically um, recognized study and research. So now you have near death studies, you have what's called end of life studies, and you have shared death experiences. So near death experiences are when somebody actually dies. They may be dead for 10 minutes. They may be dead for, only 1 minute. There's been people that have died for up to 29 minutes, one of the longest people have died, and then they somehow come back. And through resuscitation efforts, we've had an increase of people reporting these near death experiences, right? So modern technology is actually helping us like revive people from the dead, right? But people that have died and come back give these really fascinating tales. And initially doctors were just writing them off as hallucinations, and they would say that, oh, you're just losing oxygen to the brain, and so you're hallucinating. But we've the research has found that that's not necessarily true, that they're not losing oxygen to the brain is fine. These people that are having end of life experiences, they're in a relaxed state. When you're losing oxygen to the brain, you get into a chaotic state and you get into a panic state. So these people that at the end of life, when they're having these visions and they're hearing voices from their departed loved ones, they're actually saying that they're calm and they're peaceful and their brain is working fine. And then the other excuse, oh, they're highly medicated. Well, the research has found that that the people that are highly medicated have less of these experiences, this recall of these experiences. The ones that are lowly medicated are reporting these experiences more frequently. So here's through the research, they've found common denominators that hundreds of different people from all over the world have shared in their near death experiences. And these are some of the common denominators. They have no connection to each other, different religious backgrounds, but they're having similar experiences when they die and come back. So this gives the researchers some strong evidence, not proof, but strong evidence that there is life after death and that there is common experiences that we all experience. And this gives us a sense of hope that there is something meaningful and something beautiful to look forward to. So here are some of the common denominators. And a lot of these people come back saying, I don't fear death anymore. I'm not worried about being lonely or being in the abyss of nothingness. I know there's a place. My loved ones are there. They're waiting for me. So it's exhilaration, somebody said, excitement, it's new journey. So here's some of the common denominators: a feeling of peace and euphoria, out of body experience, tunnel like sensations. People report going through a tunnel, seeing a bright light, going through a life review where they experience everything in their life. And especially if they were mean or cold to somebody, they experienced through the other person who they were mean to. And if they were kind to somebody, they experienced the kindness and the joy. And encountering deceased loved ones or spiritual beings. It's a very common one. People say, oh, my grandpa was there to greet me. Grandma was there. My husband was there to greet me. Sometimes little kids will experience, I saw this person, and they can't really describe them. They're just describing them. And then the parents are like, what? They pull out an old photo album and they're like, and the kid's like, that's him, that's him. And they're like, that's your great grandpa who you never met. How do you recognize him? But the kid recognizes the picture, and the parent is like, he died before you were born. But these kids are reporting, seeing family members that they never even met, feeling called back or having a choice to return, changes in perception of time, heightened senses, and awareness of being dead. And then you have what's called end of life experiences. This is when people are at the end of their life, not a near death experience where they die and or come back, but people at their deathbed about to leave. They've studied this as well. And the common denominators is visits from deceased loved ones or spiritual beings. My grandfather himself, he said that as he was leaving his body, he said that his mother showed up. And my mom was telling me this story that he started to talk to his mother. My grandmother, when she was passing, she started calling out to some person, Revis, Revis, you know, and sensations of peace or acceptance, visions of a bright light or tunnels, a life review or flashbacks, heightened sense of clarity or lucidity, awareness of the impending death, experience of experiencing the sense of transition or crossing over, feeling of being accompanied or guided, communication with unseen entities or voices, and premonitions or messages about the afterlife. And then we have this thing called shared death experience. All three of these fields, near death experience, end of life experience, and shared death experience, are all studied, recognized in the medical field now in near death studies and research. Shared death experience is when someone is with someone who is about to cross. Say you're in the room with someone about to cross and you're there just caretaking. Well, sometimes these people also have experiences as their loved one is crossing over. And some of these common denominators are feeling a sense of connection or merging with the dying person's experience, witnessing similar phenomena as the dying person, such as encountered with loved ones. Sometimes the person will also see the loved one show up, experience shared sense of peace or transcendence, experiencing a sense of being guided or accompanied by unseen entities, experiencing synchronized or shared visions, including scenes from the dying person's life or glimpses of an afterlife, experiencing a heightened emotional and spiritual connections with others present during the dying process, having a profound impact or transformational experience on the witness's beliefs or perspectives about death and the afterlife, and like the room taking on a different geometric shape. Say they're in like a hospital room and it's just like a square box. The people sometimes experience it becoming like a geometric dome, almost like a star hexagon or tetrahedron, like almost like the ancients described a Merkaba. Sometimes these people will experience feeling like the room has changed geometric shapes, and then sometimes the person will even see the loved one's soul lift out of the body. So these are interesting that these are people not dying, not having a near death experience, but they themselves are experiencing some of the phenomenon that the loved one that is crossing over are also experiencing. Because why? Because there's an interconnectedness and that we're always connected to our loved ones. And so we get into the idea, I'm running out of time. I wish I had like another hour to talk with you guys. But this idea that we have signs, messages, that there's a light between us, that everyone is connected in these books. So when my daughter passed, um, at her memorial, my best friend's mother gave me this book. And so I believe the ocean gave me this book, and it's called The Light Between Us. And it's about a psychic medium who's been tested, quadruple blind tested by scientists, because there are charlatans out there that fake mediums and stuff. There are real mediums. And this type of stuff has been studied since the 1800s. You have the Institute of Psychical Research that was started in 1885 in London. Then you have the American Institute of Psychical Research that was started in America. You have people like William James, famous Harvard psychologist, philosopher. You have Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the inventor of Sherlock Holmes. He was very interested in this stuff. You have the spiritualist movement who teach people how to have seances and become a medium. In the late 1800s, early 1900s, spiritualism or the spiritualist church in Brazil and France, it was called Spiritism. These were big movements where people were like very much interested in like, do we have life after death and can we communicate with the dead, and the idea of seances. And this became even a religion. We have this idea that seances are like a witch thing or a cult thing, but you have the spiritualist tradition who is very similar to New Thought in a lot of ways. They're like a metaphysical Christianity essentially. They believe in that you can communicate with the dead, and they teach you how to do this. Well, anyway, she's not connected to any of those spiritualist churches, but as a child, she just had these intuitive psychic abilities, and she resisted it forever, and she started to uh, embrace it eventually, and she started to connect with loved ones on the other side, essentially. And so this book talks about how we have a team of light always protecting us, always guiding us. I'm going to wrap it up, but we have a team of light. There's the great Holy Spirit, the infinite spirit that we all come from, Source, right? Always guiding us, always. We're all part of Source. It's always there for us. It's the Most High, it's God. Then you have your spirit guides. These are beings that are like archangels. They're beings that you've never met, but they made a contract to help guide you. right? And they're always watching you. You have two or three of them. Some people have more. But in general, you have like what's called, a guardian angel or spirit guide. And then you have your loved ones. These are the ancestors, the people in your family that have crossed over. Kumu Kealaching, when he did Ocean's Rights, he talked about how the waves of the ocean shifted, and he could tell that a canoe showed up. And what he meant was that the canoe of the ancestors showed up to take Ocean on her journey. And as we did the ritual, we were feeding Ocean her favorite meal, and we were throwing food, feeding Ocean, throwing it into the ocean. He said that my kapuna and your kapuna are here, and they're doing everything together with us. So as you're feeding Ocean, your ancestors are feeding her too. As I'm doing this ritual, my ancestors are doing the ritual with me, and we're all celebrating Ocean together. And and then he said he saw the waves shift, and he said that's the canoe taking Ocean on her journey. And it reminded me of like the ancient Egyptians who would use a boat to symbolize the soul going on their journey. In the ancient Hindu tradition, they saw like an aerial craft called a vyahasana, um, as a craft that would take you on your journey, right? And so this idea of the boat, helping us on our journey. So we have this team of light, and the main point that I want to leave you with today is that all this research, all this experience, there's at this point hundreds of books about people that have had near death experiences, hundreds, thousands of pages of research on shared death experiences, near death experiences, end of life experiences. This research gives us an idea, a hope, an expectation that there is a continuation of life after death and a meaningful one. We cannot prove it one way or another. Only we can take the evidence that we have and make our own meaningful conclusions, right? Some of us have intuition, spiritual feelings, but essentially we are guided, and our loved ones, they're always with us, right? And there is a meaning to life. And losing Ocean, sometimes life feels very meaningless to me. I'm like, well, this is the purpose anymore. She was my very life, you know? But this stuff, this research, this idea that we are still together, that she's guiding me, that I'm going to see her, she will be there to greet me when I go. I thought I'd be the one, that would be greeting her. I thought I'd be the one that, you know, she would bury me and or cremate me, and but now she's the one that's going to greet me, and that gives me a sense of like joy and expectation and and happiness that there is meaning to this life, and that we do go on, and we have this team of light always guiding, protect us. That was the other thing Kumu said. She asked, how do you when you open yourself up to this spiritual realm, to the spirit sides and the other side, she asked Kumu, how do you protect yourself? And he said you can do prayers of protection, but you should know that your family on the other side is the greatest protection you will ever need. They're always there, always guiding you. So you already have the greatest protection there is. It's your loved ones, your ancestors, even ones you've never met, are there on your side looking over you. So I would encourage you to start speaking to them, start talking. I had I'll finish off with this. I had a psychic medium who I did not call to meet. I didn't make an appointment. We were just at this place, and she happened to be at this place, and she felt knew nothing about my daughter. She just came up to me and started telling me all this stuff. And she's like, "Your daughter's with you. Believe in this and speak to her, communicate with her." And she was saying, like, speak to them, you know, don't just say it in your head, speak to them. They're always with you. So start communicating with your loved ones, speak to them openly. I recommend these books, Signs, The Light Between Us. If you're dealing with grief, you can find this book, Grief and Grieving by, what's her name? Elizabeth Kubler-Ross and David Kessler. And then David Kessler, he wrote the sixth stage of grieving, which is finding meaning, right? And just believe that you are guided, and thank you so much. Aloha.
Thank you so much. And thank you for sharing. And she's a beautiful young lady. And thank you. I think I have a feeling there's people with maybe some questions or wanting to share. We don't have time now, but are we going to be taking you out to lunch? Where would you like to go?
The Thai restaurant?
The Thai restaurant. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe we can continue after or maybe during lunch. Yes.
Can I say real quick? For Ocean's final rights to pay Kumu Keala Ching for his service, he asked that I donate to his organization, his nonprofit, which helps teach kids Hawaiian language and culture. And if you feel inspired and you want to, donate something in honor of Ocean, you can go to Kumu's website and you can also make a donation. And then also, I want to just say that I feel called to do the type of service that I do, which is music, prayer, storytelling to people that are going through the end of life experience. So if you know somebody or you yourself would like kirtan or storytelling or prayer, I'd be happy to volunteer to sit with you, sit with your loved one. So please reach out to me afterwards if you need Kumu's website, if you want my contact. I'm happy to offer that.
Thank you. That's very sweet. That's very nice. It's a good reminder too, it's a good reminder. And there's a website, I don't know what it is, but on my right-hand toolbar, a lot of these near-death experiences, I think I looked at one and now occasionally all of a sudden they pop up and I listen to them and they're very hopeful, very, very hopeful. And thanks for reminding us and bringing that kind of hope back to us, just as a reminder. We may be geared a little different way, but that reminder that our ancestors are always there helping us and our loved ones that have passed. And it's another way to give gratitude. Thank you. Okay, we got a couple announcements and we'll keep them brief. Oh. I'm so sorry. The bowl, our sacred bowl. We're going to be passing the bowl around, and it's an energetic offering of love and light to New Thought. It allows us to come here on Sunday and be together. It allows us to be able to love. It allows us to be grateful. It allows us to bring good messages from all our presenters and beautiful music. So in whatever way you feel called, I'm going to pass the bowl around. Do you have any? Is there anything softly that you could play with this?
Sure. Loka samasta Sukhino bhavantu 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
May all the beings and all the worlds be happy. Okay, coming up at New Thought, we're here every Sunday at 10. You can do in person, which we love, or live stream, which is great. We have free childcare by reservation. You need to call by Friday. So the next 3 Sundays, next week, we've got Kawakea Winston, Astrological Forecast for 2024. That should be very interesting. And Colleen Yost is our music minister. On 3/24, which is in 2 weeks, Maria Mann's doing our spring equinox ceremony. That's always a good way to celebrate going into our next season. And Easter, which is in 3 weeks, Reverend Libby O'Day, Roll Away the Stone. Woohoo! Music by Shauna Bradfield. And our weekly classes are Tai Chi and Qigong on Mondays with Jin An Wang. We have our end of the month potluck on the 31st, which is Easter, so that works out pretty good. We have produce giveaways at first Sunday, so April 7th would be the time, but that's our big produce giveaway. And special events, on the 17th, Kaukea is doing personal astrology readings, 15 minutes for $20. Sign up after next week's service. And she would like you, if you're signing up, we'll have a sign-up sheet there. Place, date, and time of your birth, because that's essential for doing the reading. And she also will do private sessions between 1 and 5 that afternoon in the Honoa room. Saturday, on March 30th, Sarah Rose is doing an herbal elixir workshop from 2 to 4 p.m. here on the Lanai, 25 to 50 sliding scale. Sign our guest book over there to get a weekly newsletter, or you can go on to www.newthoughtcenterofhawaii.com. Yay. How many might be going to lunch with us today? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And the Thai restaurant in Keho Shopping Center? Okay. That seems to be our favorite these days. Okay, we're gonna circle up in a minute. But I have something that I was inspired to do this morning. I've got the mana cards here, the power of Hawaii wisdom. And I thought, I need to draw a card for New Thought. So I put the cards out and I pulled one. And some other ones wanted to come, but I was like, I kept going. I knew where my finger wanted to go. That one for New Thought. And I pulled Kane. So this is for new thought, a collective whole. Kane, okay, the water of life. Kane is believed to have come through the gateway of the rising sun, the easternmost point in the Hawaiian Islands. He's the most revered of the four major gods. Now, this is according, again, this is Catherine Kalama Becker. Okay, so this is her representation of Kane. He's god of protection. Kane created man out of white clay, red earth, and saliva. Means man. Wahine means woman. We know that, right? But the interpretation is life is sacred to Kane. The waters of Kane bring refreshment and rejuvenation. Kane brings to our lives the dawn of a new day, the light of understanding, and the ability to begin again. When Kane appears, it may be that you're being offered, you being our collective whole of new thought, may be offered the opportunity to begin to start something over. I would use the word rejuvenate. Dig under the surface to discover the source of what it is we are about to begin. Inner source that guides us to the well springs within our own beings. Kane's digging stick releases waters which flow without force. It restores energy and harmony. So when we're about to begin something new, ask ourselves the following question. Is what we are doing lead us to refreshment and rejuvenation, and to experience a sense of well-being? All aspects of life are sacred, and it should, whatever we begin, will allow us to flow effortlessly with the flow of Kane's creation. And I really feel like new thought has been rejuvenating. And in a way, this Easter is our new birth as we head into our 52 plus years of being here and being in service to all of you. This is really a beautiful card. Thank you. Okay, should we join up? Hold hands if you care to, and we'll sing our closing song.
E Hawaii e ukone hanawe Kuhone kula iwine Oli no aina pono laniao E Hawaii aloha E haoli na opio apaine Oli Mai na ahe makai pamane Mau ke aloha no Hawaii E haoli na opi Hawaii ne Oli Mai na ahe makani pa mai ne Mau ke aloha no Hawaii Mau ke aloha no Hawaii Mau ke aloha no Hawaii Really?
Yeah.